When I was first notified that I'd be speaking to all of you today, I was extremely excited and nervous. Actually, I still am. After watching about 50 TEDx videos, I asked myself, what did I just get myself into? My life is way too ordinary to be doing something like this. However, after thinking about it, I realized that my life isn't ordinary at all, because I'm surrounded by extraordinary people every day. At the age of 16, I've been given so many opportunities by my friends, mentors, and heroes. When I want to give up, they give me the strength and encouragement to keep on going, and have never given up on me. I'm sure that all of you have people like that in your lives as well. My first hero will forever be my mother. She has sacrificed everything, taught me how to dream, and exemplified the determination to fulfill my goals. In her 20s, she moved from Taiwan to the United States, searching for the American dream. She landed in Park City, Utah, where she opened a restaurant named Szechuan Chinese Kitchen that has thrived for over 20 years. Raising my autistic sister and me, a newborn baby, wasn't easy, but that didn't stop her. As long as her children would be able to have a bright future and be who they wanted to be, she'd do anything. During my childhood, my mother had a glamorous friend who wore multiple diamonds on her fingers. Being someone who had to work in her restaurant's kitchen all day to support her family, my mother would do anything but buy things for herself. All she told me was, "You're my most precious diamond. People might not take a second glance at me now, but as long as you're able to shine, your mother will be the proudest person in the world." What she said to me when I was 5 has fueled me to this day. My sister is 8 years older than me, but I have the responsibility to care for her throughout my lifetime. Autism prevents her from learning and communicating at her age level, but she is still the best sister I could ever ask for. Through love and care, learning and communicating hasn't been a problem for us. I won't deny how hard it is when I think about what her life could have been like, but I'm glad as long as she's healthy and happy. The three of us were able to meet a wonderful man 5 years ago who has done more than what his role calls for. Not only did he marry my mother, but he has cared for my sister and me like we were his own children. He is my dad in all ways, and I'd like to thank him for all that he's done. As you can probably tell by now, family has influenced everything in my life. Back in Taiwan, on my mom's side, I have 2 aunts and 2 uncles, each of them having 3 children of their own. Out of my 12 cousins, I'm the youngest, so I've never had a shortage of love. In fact, when we go back to visit every year, my family gets into little arguments about who should pick us up from the airport and which house we should stay at. Even though I do feel a little guilty about this sometimes, I get the warmest feeling inside. My English teacher this year told me how one teacher changed his whole life. He went from being a math genius in high school to being a successful English teacher at Park City High School. I'm amazed how one teacher can change your whole life. And for me, that teacher is Miss Julie Hooker. She was my 8th grade English teacher and my 9th grade leadership advisor. When Julie first met me, I was a timid 8th grader who looked at her feet when she walked in the hallways. A couple days ago, I heard that some people would rather die than speak in public. Well, I used to be one of those people until I met her. Her confidence and energy made me want to change. I went from being a girl who never expressed her thoughts or opinions to being student body president in 9th grade. So thank you, Julie Hooker. Everyone has dreams. I know because I see that all of you got up this morning. Whether they are short or long-term goals, they give you something to work towards. For me, ever since I was 5 years old, my dream was to become a doctor. My dream has never changed because of the people that surround me every day. My grandfather passed away due to a major stroke before I ever got to meet him. This will always be one of the greatest regrets I'll ever have. When I was little, my grandmother was one of my best friends. Even though she only came to visit us a couple times, she would always be the one to speak up for me when I got in trouble. Losing her to an unknown illness was what made me want to become a doctor. I watched her personality go from lively and outgoing to sad and lonely. A couple months ago, my stepdad's sister was diagnosed with breast cancer. My whole family was crushed, and so was I. Being a caring person and doctor, she is my mentor in every way. Luckily, her treatment was successful, and she can continue to be a hero of many more lives ahead. Last year, I was fortunate enough to meet not just heroes, but healthcare heroes, people who I hope to be one day. Working on the student board of the People's Health Clinic made me realize just how special Park City is. It takes a great degree of selflessness to not turn away anyone, which is why, after my year with the board was over, I decided I wanted to keep volunteering with them. Every Thursday, I'm able to see gracious and hardworking people working tirelessly to make sure that everyone, even if they don't have health insurance, is able to get the medical attention they deserve. I'm also amazed at how many people are willing to give to the clinic to make sure that it can keep its legacy. My next hero has always and will always be music. This universal language has allowed me to communicate with everyone. When we discovered our shared love for music when I was 6, my mother went and found the most amazing teachers in the country. My current piano teacher, whom I've studied from for almost 10 years, is Professor Gary Mano, a graduate of the Juilliard School of Music, and is currently the piano director at the USU Music Department. He and some of my other teachers, Dr. Brian Stanley and Mrs. Cassandra Broadhead, have taught me more than how to play. Any kind of competition can really bring you down if you let it. When you lose, realize that as long as you can learn from it, all it will do is make you stronger and better. Even when you win, realize that you can still be better, and that there is no such thing as perfect. My mother drives me to Logan for a 2-hour lesson with Professor Amano every Sunday. This weekly trip takes 6 hours. Every competition I've won throughout the country, I've dedicated to my amazing mother, my supportive friends who missed class today just to watch me speak, and my wonderful teachers whom have never given up on me. Knowing that being able to play music is a gift, I'd like to share that with you today by playing the Ballade No. 3 by Chopin. Thank you.